Once we get to union level like 60, 70, we will be accounted for a bunch of Echo experience by
We're not getting any more experience at level 60. So yeah, I was wrong. And that's it. I just kind of wanted to make this video since a lot of people aren't actually down to just admit when they're just completely wrong. Which I was in this case. And yeah, I prefer being down to earth because being up here is really fucking uncomfortable. Can we get down from here? I don't really have that many things I do want to talk about right now. So I thought I could make this video to simply highlight what I do think is the problem in Wuthering Waves right now. And that is the current cost of reward for Waveplate. When you sit down to grind in Wuthering Waves, it does really feel costly. Though the reason for this is probably just because it's the earlier versions of the game, and the waveplate cost might actually be adjusted in the future. But right now, Tacet Fields, 60 waveplate? Yeah, no thanks. But like, then again, where the fuck am I supposed to get Echo Exp? From boss domains? Weekly bosses? Yeah, there's pretty much nowhere else besides that and dailies. Right now, in Wuthering Waves, you really have to focus what you want to use your waveplate on specifically. Do you want to use it all on Tacet Fields, or do you want to go all in on weapon ascension and character ascension materials? Like, you really have to sit down and say, I want to grind out this material, and that's it for your waveplate. Then it's empty in 2 minutes. Sure, that's great, because, well, it's a gacha game, and I don't want to log on to play for 1 hour every single day. But the problem is that it doesn't really feel like you're making that much progress in terms of how much resources you're actually putting into these domains. So unless there's a double drop event, it doesn't really feel like it's worth my waveplate. At least for Tacet Fields. Because now I do believe we do need more Echo XP. However, I thought we would get that Echo XP at the end game, but we don't. At least not enough. And I also don't think that UL 70 is going to be that much of an increase either. Maybe we get a guaranteed 5, but even then that's not enough. We need at least 6 or 7. And that's a union level 60 if you ask me. And I think at 70 you can pretty much just have a guaranteed at a higher set number, like for example 7 or 8, whatever it is, and that would be enough. And when it comes to tuners, I honestly think that right now with the change that they've made to the advanced tuner synthesis, as well as the fact that also they've increased the amount of tuners that's honestly available, tuners aren't actually really a problem for me. I've not ran out of tuners at all, and I've never even gotten close to running out of tuners. And they are arguably just as important, and even more important for min-maxers and especially for endgame. And now, speaking of min-maxers, let's talk a little bit about actual echo farming, because I think there's been a bit of discussion recently about it. And I'll be completely honest, if you just want to farm echoes and you just are so lazy about it, just do Tacet Fields. Sure, the rewards are not great, but honestly right now there's no better way to really consistently farm echoes for, well, the types that you want, as fast, and also getting the materials. Some of my best echoes actually come from Tacet Fields and not from the overworld, since the overworld is actually where you get the most amount of randomness. Farming Tacet Fields eliminates one part of that randomness, which is the type. So like that, you pretty much have turned it into a grind like you do in Genshin and HSR. And for 4 cost echoes, this is pretty much the only big problem. Though in my honest opinion, if you do take your time out of your day to actually do this sort of grinding, you can actually get it relatively quickly, unless you're doing the fucking turtle. Jesus Christ, why did they have to make this a part of 2 types? That was... And sure, that is if you do have the time. But what if you don't? Well, I guess you're gonna have to get lucky with fucking dailies, I guess. Yeah, the main downside is that you can grind this at any time, but only you choose when that grind actually happens. You're in the control of the grind, but you can't control when you get it. It's only you that can control it. So unless you go out of your way to get it, you won't actually get it unless you're lucky. And that's pretty much the only problem I have with Wuthering Waves right now. They're manageable problems, but they're definitely problems. And I will say, if this does continue, there is a call into question whether or not the progression feels fair in endgame, because the amount of time you need to put into the game. But then again, that's also a day 1 player problem. That is just the downside of committing to a live service game in its early days. People that are going to start playing the game later down the line in like version 2 or whatnot, they're not going to have this issue because they're going to have more content to progress off of, and they'll also give it more rewards since there's more content to do and so on. But yeah, for now, as someone that does play the game, Tacet Fields, why the fuck do you cost 60? Either change the rewards or just make them 40, man. Like, why are they 60? It does not make any sense. But yeah, that was it. Excuse me for not actually having a interesting video this time, since I'm pretty much out of ideas. I need some things to happen, honestly. But even then, if you did like this video, please do show it by giving it a like. It'll greatly help me out. And well, if you're also new around here, you can maybe consider subscribing to the channel. I do discussion. I don't even know how to fucking label my own content. What the fuck is this? And I'll see you guys next time when I find something that pisses me the fuck off. Peace?